So good morning and welcome to Philadelphia Walks PTSD. My name is Sharon Cole, or Sharon, or Cole, whatever you want to refer to me. I've heard it all before, and in a good way. I don't care. I've been called rat, pig, horse, squirrel, mouse, gerbil. I don't, you name it. It's come out, and it might have been used as what is called an anchor for gang stalking. And in gang stalking, people will try to plant very specific sounds or words or any association that can be used for a trigger later on. It's like programming someone in a way. So, like whistling in a creepy way or creepily behind someone while they're riding their bike, which happened to me, or having every friend have their ringtone be a whistle, or people you thought were friends. That could anchor that in the brain, which it did in my case. So I'll start off with, of course, it is my one video each day, 365-day donor campaign to raise money for life lost, to keep me going on my pursuit of justice, if you will, and to be able to just keep a roof over my head and pay basic expenses. I don't have much of a life other than eating, working, and paying for phone. Wi-Fi is free where I live. It's included in the rent, and stuff like that. I don't have a big family, and the few people who I do kind of talk to, they have their own lives, and there are other things they have to, and I put up with, and I don't know if sometimes they might feel under siege in a way. I don't know, but anyway. So with that said, it's day 80 of my 365-day campaign. And today I wanted to talk about a website that came in very handy for me when I was seeking answers. I was made to believe I'd be murdered in my apartment the fourth Monday of January 2011 by a series of orchestrated events. They were orchestrated. I was scared, so SHITLESS, that my entire body was in convulsions. I was trembling. I was trying to hold my phone. Turns out when you're scared that badly, the muscle system, or I don't know, I'm getting limbic system, I guess, goes completely limp. And in fact, I couldn't even make a sound out of my voice. And this registered in my brain as like an interesting thing, that when you are terrorized to the point of of no return, of PTSD land and then some, your voice, I couldn't scream. And I kind of wondered, I had a moment of like, who are the people who actually scream? Like in movies or whatever, it would have to be like a different scenario of people who can run away from a house and start screaming. But I was frozen in the sense of not being able to scream, like kind of stunned and stuck. And then all my muscles went limp. And, I couldn't figure out who to call first. And I didn't want to call police first for some weird reason. I really don't know why. I called my sister first, and she kind of eventually convinced me to go ahead and call police. But when I did, I felt like, and I actually believe there's voice to skull, but or like text to brain, or I actually think people can communicate without cell phones on some level. And these will be very high level people. But somehow the thought came in of, is my call going to police or a special unit that's really handled by the CIA or FBI? I thought that for a minute, and the person at the dispatch of the 911 dispatch sounded like someone from South Philly, someone who would have an accent from South Philly, and sometimes their voices can sound flat to me. It's hard to explain. I don't know if anyone else picks up on this or hears it, and they can sound fake to me. It would be like Joe Pesci-ish with like a little bit of a damper on his throat and having a little bit of a sociopathic, sadistic sound to his voice. And that's what made me wonder if I was actually reaching the police or if my phone call had been rerouted for this very special night. And could they have a special group create scenarios? That's how bad that was. I'm not a paranoid person. I really wasn't thinking of anything leading up to this. I was thinking of moving to the Pacific Northwest because I didn't feel like I was finding much success here in Philadelphia. And admittedly, I thought the city was going downhill. There was just too much, the city was trashed and everything else. But anyway, I'll get to the point. As if that weren't enough, the games commenced after I thought I'd be murdered in my apartment. I was running around the city like in a cat and mouse game, and I kept looking for answers. And one of those answers came through a website called fightgangstalking.com. So it would be all one word, fightgangstalking.com. And whoever this person is, and I'm pretty sure this is a he. I think I found his name through an email that you can find on here somewhere. Whoever it is, he deeply, deeply understands tactics used by various groups, agencies. He deeply understands the, whatever you call it, the complex, the Hollywood military industrial complex. Throw in there politics, throw in there 5 other things, and all the people who want to be part of this thing. And you've got quite a complex and convoluted situation of people who think they're all that in a bag of chips. And I joke they might be a bag of chips, microchips. But anyway, what is gang? And when you think about it, animals can be, we have pets, and they insert GPS tracking chips, so that if you lose your cat or your dog goes missing, you can find it through a GPS tracker system. Or they wear that tile thing. Say that could actually be done to people, or say animals could actually be puppeted through such mechanisms. Because I have experienced things that have gotten so weird that I'm like, is this a movie dog? Or these cats might as well be that Sabrina cat or whatever on that show with the blonde lady who was a comedian and her cat, or Mary Jo Hart or something like that. This is a comedy from years ago. And the cat just had conversations with whoever the main character was of that sitcom. I am so not kidding. That's how bad it is. So, and imagine that your world is turned upside down and you're made to feel scared all the time by all of this. And you're like, so do I go to the police and say there are 2 cats down in Gainesville, Florida, and they might as well be people because they're like acting, they might as well start talking to, but see how it can make someone seem crazy. Like, oh, you must be schizophrenic, or you must be, no. The fact that we can insert chips into animals these days, which we didn't before, just proves that it can be easier to manipulate or puppet those domesticated animals or pets or what have you. So anyway, and just check out johnnyjuicer.com or Johnny Juicer online, our raw vegan foodie. I love this guy because he wants people to be healthy, and he's trying to show people how to eat in the best way possible to survive the times, and to sort of desecrate the evil food industry. But he is showing that he knows how to train in a very sophisticated way his own dog, a Yorkshire Terrier named Noah, and a squirrel. So he can create little shorts, TikTok shorts, or whatever, even with a squirrel coming into his apartment. Do you see what I mean? So he is able to do something that that most average people can't do. I don't know why people get to have these abilities. I don't know how it's done. I don't know if he spent hours, at a special training group, how to train your squirrel. I have no idea. The movie industry has been around forever. Theme parks have been around forever. People have dominated even killer whales and orcas in the name of money. Period. I won't even give education because we won't get on that topic. This could be one reason why I was targeted, but I'm very sensitive about the fact that people were willing to actually go into Mother Nature's land of Puget Sound in Seattle, Washington, net in a mama orca's babies, and then stick them in a bathtub. Anyway, that's a very hot topic for me. I am a PETA type person aside from the gory videos but I'm vegetarian, almost vegan. I cannot believe how piggish humans can be. Humans suck. What pig would actually go and steal dolphins, killer whales, and stick them in these tacky, and let's just put it out there, humans, or low-class people, you are willing to spend $60 to go in to watch an orca that should be in the ocean, not in a bathtub, jump through hoops for food. They're not happy. Oh, in order to be able to eat, I guess I have to listen to my master, who's a low-class loser. who was willing to work in a tacky, disgusting theme park. Education can be gotten from books or actually going whale watching. We have a million opportunities to learn about these animals by just, they do have major aquariums. I don't love it, but why do we need so badly to put these things on display? To put orcas. Anyway, we won't get into it. I was going to talk about fightgangstalking.com. It might be one of the reasons I was targeted, because I cannot stand the vulgarness of so many humans and the ignorance and the domination. The desperate need to dominate other beings. That is Satan's work if I ever heard it. And I'm not even religious, but I will say it because I'm so pissed off about this. So anyway, and how do you dominate someone? You have to scare the shit out of someone or rape that person to death. Wow, that's a victory. And someone actually thinks they're victorious by doing that. That is disturbing. That is a monster. Right. I think of the song Chase the Monsters Away, which does make me sad, by James Blunt. And I wonder if my dad was secretly trying to chase monsters away and was planted in a different relationship. I bet they would love that. It's my turn to chase the monsters away. So anyway, what is gang stalking? So fightgangstalking.com, they have a lot of information on there. You have to kind of go down to the section that says, what is gang stalking, and click on it. And a brief explanation of gang stalking. Here, I'll put on my glasses. I can't believe how piggy humans are. It is disturbing to me that people believe they're okay in harming other people, or how they justify. I don't know if they think this is, anyway. If you wound up in my experience, I swear to God, there are people who went postal. I'm like, I wonder if this is how they created postal people. So according to Google Trends data, the term gang stalking began appearing among online searches circa 2005. I found it before everything kicked off, because weird stuff did start happening around, I guess, 2008, 9, or 10. And I found this website by Ted Gunderson, who used to be, I guess, a former FBI agent. He's passed away now. But it was kind of a sketchy website. Like back in the day, it would have all these like blinking things all over it. And I'm like, this is kind of, I didn't know what to believe. So I put it way on a back shelf and kept having weird things happen. And then in 2011, everything exploded. So coincidentally or not, that was during the post 9/11 expansion of America's security state activities. In any case, a full review of relevant news reports and other information makes clear that the term gang stalking, and most but not all online references to it, is disinformation from the U.S. intelligence community. So even people in the intelligence community will put out misinformation or disinformation, intended to obfuscate the nature of a set of real tactics, sometimes referred to in the security industry as disruption operations, as in disruption of the life of an individual targeted by public and or private security operatives. It has nothing to do with criminal gangs. Although, hey, it's been a while since I read this, because I keep thinking, are these criminal families or mafia families or what? That's the disinformation part. It does involve stalking, though, intense long-term surveillance and harassment involving varying levels of criminality. The published news reports section of this webpage, and the published news reports, he's got it all capitalized, so this must be like a magazine or a publication section. It's his own section of this webpage, include multiple examples of such operations. Some of the methods were used by communist East Germany's Stasi state police, who referred to the strategy as Zertsung, German for decomposition or corrosion. And they do chip away, because you want to have a positive life, right? And thank God for yoga. The negativity, irritation, constant anger, all of this does corrode a living being. It's like putting a flower in acid, right? Some self-proclaimed victims have described the process as no-touch torture because the tactics generate minimal forensic evidence. Yes. Tactics include, but are not limited to, slander, blacklisting, mobbing, intense organized harassment in the workplace, black bag jobs, residential break-ins, abusive phone calls, computer hacking, framing, threats, blackmail, vandalism, street theater, staged physical and verbal interactions with minions of the people who orchestrate the stalking, harassment by noises, and other forms of bullying. In some cases, the harassment escalates to physical violence. And you'll see this like in your neighborhoods, and it's like, that's weird. It can seem innocent, like even a game of catch could be used to harm someone. Oh, we have your dad, you don't. We're going to time it so that when you show up to visit your dad, we're playing catch, and we have this whole perfect picture of a family. And see how that hurts a little girl, or a woman who wants her dad to pay attention to her? Regarding the scope of such activities in the US or other nations, I have no specific information or guesses. This website does contain links, however, to most of the important published English language news reports related to the subject, through 2018 anyway. For reasons I try to address, it seems clear that some of the published media reports and most of the websites about this topic are disinformation. Their existence suggests that this form of quasi-police state social control is at least widespread enough that an effort is being made to discredit claims about it. The goal, which has been partly successful, is to associate all reports of such crimes with conspiracy theory idiocy, rather than have the public associate them with a long history of crimes by rogue spy agencies, police agencies, and private security firms in America. Stalking by corrupt cops, spies, and corporate security goons is psychological terrorism combined with a systematic effort to destroy the victims financially and socially. Administering severe extrajudicial punishment is not only unethical, it's illegal under both federal and state law. It clearly violates, for example, the U.S. Constitution's Fourth Amendment, which prohibits unwarranted searches, the Sixth Amendment, which says punishment should be preceded by a trial, and the Eighth Amendment, which prohibits cruel and unusual punishments. Such operations also violate similar laws and state constitutions. In addition, stalking is specifically prohibited by the criminal codes of every state in America. All right, I will end it there. It goes on and on and on. He has so much information on here, and it even includes movies that sort of relate to people's experiences and so forth and so on. But I wanted to bring this up because I have referred to it numerous times in the past because I needed to sort of keep going and keep working. I was kind of stuck in dog walking because of what happened. I didn't know how to find justice. And the whole point is you can't find justice because it's possible that parts of the justice, judicial world are in on this problem. It would be like they're puppeted or roboted to believe that it's okay to do this. I don't know why they target people. He gets into some ideas, but the whole point is people are targeted who, would be could seem to be people who could easily be discredited, meaning, well, what's so special about you? People who are stalked are big movie stars, or it's there's no reason. What would be the motivation, and there's no one willing to look into it because you really can't prove. All you could prove is that 1 million people are being jackasses, and that doesn't really do anything. And it's like, well, I'm being hurt. Where am I supposed to go for help? And how am I supposed to earn a living? So anyway, so that's it. Just want to wrap it up here. I know it's a long one. I get very heated about the orcas. And in fact, I saw a movie many, many years ago, like around 2003 or 4. It's called Slave to Human Entertainment. Lolita, Slave to Human Entertainment. It was a documentary about the oldest living killer whale or orca in Miami at SeaWorld. And later they would make a movie called Death at SeaWorld. But they called her Lolita way back in the day for that Rattle the Cage Productions documentary. And very disturbing that somehow we humans think it's okay to completely steal away something as large as a killer whale from an ocean and put it, into this bathtub of a place for a whole bunch of kids eating cotton candy to sit there and watch. And even some kids don't love going to zoos because it's sad to them that these animals are in cages, right? So anyway, all right, thank you so much and have a beautiful day.